And then they put them sign, they want to be outshine. So I guess it's just me, myself, and all these empty lines. I never knew that being nice lies. Once you blowing up, they want to know your penis size. Clothes all staring, saying you got dreamy eyes. And if you ain't
Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Peace and officer Shahul and class of peace and officer Makoyat, right? We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Been teaching this truth since 1969 that the Black, Hispanics, and Native United 12 Lost Tribe of Israel under Commandant General Yohanna. Right. So tonight class could be more or less about black people, right, and to show black people that this Bible belongs to them and no one else. So no matter how the scripture seems like it's going to the other nations, it is not for the other nations and them, right? So, like, you know, all these other nations start things going on and saying, well, hey, them Gentiles and them going on be in the kingdom and then going on be safe and things like so. We'll take scripture when you go and look into it and all too. There's no way there because again all these Christians just don't know the history of the Bible again, and then after now we oppressors now teaching black people the Bible when the Mosai never set up no other nation to teach the Bible and thing, right? So now we like join in together with all these other nations, and that is not of the Mosai. But the Mosai say we are separate people, right? And separate mean holy. So we're not supposed to be joining hands with no other nation except in the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So a lot of things when you watch wrong and we say we're going to join hands and all kind of thing, and when you watch wrong today, black people to the bottom, right? Even in the countries we living in and all too, and thing where we see black people resort and thing, they're still to the bottom and all. So all these nations and them, no matter where it be, even self as in Brazil and all too, and thing, right? Same thing. Brazilians suffering, they've been murdered in the streets and all too. We come to the West Indies all with tribe of Benjamin here, Jamaica. You see how much 1,500 murders for the year. We come to Trinidad and all to the same thing. You see 500 murders. We go to the states and all to where more or less all the tribe of Judah, tribe of I.S.U.P.K, right, and so on again with the brothers and them meeting up again now. I see the same thing again. We're being oppressed, putting the drugs and all them things. And when you check back everybody else, all these other nations living good, prospering, all kind of thing, and the only oppressing black people. And yet we going in the Christian church and thing, right, and every day praising God and not knowing that, hey, you asking yourself, well, what is really going on with black people and thing today and thing, right? Because these Christian leaders, when these Christian leaders and themselves has been going all these terminology schools set up by the white man, the white man never, when the Mosai never ordained white people to teach the Bible and thing, right? So now we will see all these things in these scriptures here and thing. So no matter how it seems like going to the other nations and thing, the verses are more straightforward. The pastors are never going to read this thing to let you know that, hey, the Mosai only dealing with one nation. Christ only dealing with one nation. All these prophets and I'm only dealing with one nation. All these prophets belong to one nation and thing, right? And that is the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They will never say, hey, it's of the other races and them. Mosai not about the other races. So what we're going to do tonight is go through some of the scriptures with the Christians just like to take and say, well, hey, all these other nations and them going to be saved, and when that is not set up by the Mosai, right? But again, let me go to so first thing first, this year is a King James Bible, right? So another thing, just like so this is right? So King James, right? So another thing, just like do Christ now, right? And Christ, when you know in the scriptures, you go in the scriptures and thing, right? So you tell us here, well, like wool, right? It's kind of like brass, like if it burn in a furnace, something, right? So now, and then after the text says here, everything, right? So now when the thing you go in the scripture, now you know that Christ is a black man, right? So the same thing now. So now, when people get to realize, hey, these same people oppress we now, and thing, and then after you put a white man who is the most powerful man on the face of the earth, whoever walk the earth, now you're saying somebody white. So again, now to move away black people from to move away black people in the Bible, because now again you're coming with this white man again saying that by white supremacy again now, say that they whip we, they kill the women, they kill the babies and things, they destroy me, they take my identity now. So now again now people are going to move away from the Bible again, because why? We see him again white supremacy and truth all through slavery and thing, was able to push these things on, right? And thing, right? So now the same thing now to come and do with King James now, right? So King James now to come and say, hey, King James is a white man, and then after now he's a homosexual and thing, right? So now they push all this again, and again now we people again, just like all these holidays and them come up and thing, New Year's and thing, um, Christmas and all these things, and nobody not take any time to go and look into these things and them, because why? All the alcohol, all the gifts and thing, all them thing, what people focus on that, and that's blinding people. Not hey, let me go and really look into this and really see where it's coming from and thing. And when they go and look it up and thing itself, you see that all these things that Roman God philosophy and things that don't make sense and thing, right? So the same thing now. When we come now, they say, hey, King James is a homosexual. He ain't going to do no research, nothing again. When King James was a man ruling England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, and thing, ruling Europe and thing, they ain't pushing that again, because why? They want to put black people to the bottom and thing. All nations and thing. They have no nation saying, hey, you know what, really and truly, these black people is really great people on the face of the earth and thing. No. And even if they know it, they're not going to come out and say it, because them have one goal is always keep down black people and thing, right? And to destroy black people and to oppress black people. So again, when you go through all this here, from this the get-go from Genesis to Revelation, you're always going to see about Israelite. So when I was coming up and all too, right? So again, thank now for the I.S.U.P.K now, that now we get the full knowledge, we get the full truth about the Bible now. One thing now these things come now so easy from Genesis. Now we could go and answer. Now we could go and answer these questions easy, like, hey, Adam and Eve was naked, and thinking that Adam and Eve was naked, like the breast, she breast outside, and think when she breast wasn't outside. I talking about she disobeying now the most like she laws, they get them laws to keep now they go against the father, now break the father laws, and now they're feeling shame because now the father tell them to do something and they disobey. So now they're naked in front of the eye. And then after now, again now, and they say now there was not a shame at the nakedness now. So that at a certain time now, they was keeping the Most High laws and thing. It wasn't business about any other people around them and thing. Because do anything that the Most High. So there wasn't shame to keep the Most High laws. So now when you think now to speak, everything like it really making sense now and thing. And this is now we are the tank Commander General Yohanna and all these generals and them, General Hyman, General Yak and thing, right? General Quatum, right? And all these other generals come like all the other captains and them, the officers and them, all the troopers and them again to these same troopers and all now go start, and then after now they will build themselves, come back the same way to come back and teach other brothers and be over other brothers now, and to go back to the love, to love the people again, to go there and teach for the people and thing, right? So again, all these things here again now when you go up and thing is like we fully bit destroy and thing. So like when you're small and thing, these Jehovah Witness, so they be coming around and thing, right? So ever from small you always know yeah, Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ, this white man and thing. But then after when you open the Bible now and thing, every verse I only looking to see really Jesus Christ. But somehow the other now, when you go in the scriptures, you only see in Israel, 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 Israel. So I asked the woman now, wait, so this book should really be about Jesus Christ. Why only seeing Israel? And like the woman paused for a while and like and then after she just jumped out and said, yeah, well, Israel was a good man and thing, and that was it, like, well, and just keep that now and thing, and now to the I.S.U.P.K now and get to know now who Israel is, right? And Israel again now was the fourth, and now we grew into a nation itself, and here we are the 12 tribe of Israel today, which is all the Cubans and thing, the Puerto Ricans and them, right? The all these nations and them in the Caribbean, Benjamin, Judah, all the Negroes and them you see and all in America and all these things, right? And all Zebulon and Port and thing, all Panama and all these things, all these people are with people who make up the 12 tribe of Israel and thing. So when we say we disobey now and say we don't want to join forces with them Venezuelans here and all them things, all are we here and all are we have to join together because Christ is waiting for all of we to join together. It's not happening with 9 tribes and 3 left behind and thing. It's going to take every tribe together to do this thing, right? And to rule with Christ and thing, right? So when we go back now again now, it's like, whoa, so now get to know now, hey, who Israel is and what the things we should be doing as an Israelite and thing, right? And not following these other nations and them, because again now we have laws governing we and thing, right? So when you go through all these things again, everything is seated there and all too, they're always going against black people. So even right now with this COVID, all this COVID-19 going around and thing, right? So Second Star, which is a soca artist and all, right? Yeah, Ravi B going and do gonna keep the party or kind of thing, right? They ain't come wrong with baby and thing, but Second Star, you see Second Star making the news and saying, well, yeah, this and that. They ain't go to baby again, because why? Black people have no power. Black people have no power. But there's one power on the face of it for black people right now, and that's the I.S.U.P.K. Right? So the I.S.U.P.K will be there to fight black people till the end, and thing, right? So now, when we go in the scriptures here now, you're going to see now who the Most I was talking to, right? So no matter what it seems, just remember that hey, this book is only for black people. So again, when you watch wrong everything you're seeing, you see it with Gabriel and thing, Dr. Gabriel and thing. She was in she went in she come to her lunch, right? And when she come to her lunch, they tell her you're not supposed to be seen down here. And with the vexation now, she lash out and thing, right? And again, now if it has to be now, you're going to know how to deal with these. Now you're going to know how to deal with them, how to control your anger and all them things, right? And this is where your anger is here now. We anger here is to come out now and teach the people and them who they is and thing. We go be on the streets, we go be balling and thing, right? Thing and that. So now if she didn't know that now, and thing again, she in Christian, maybe in Christian, I don't know what she really following and thing, but again, now if that happens, she don't know how to deal with the situation. Up come no see now. How come this East Indian doctor now come out and lash out and say don't hire no Negro nurse and them and thing, right? So and thing, right? So what is again now if Gabriel get the same thing, that should be going to the same too. So now the East Indian doctor up to now he's still working there, nothing saying about he lose the takeaway he practiced and thing up to now, ain't nothing more that and thing, but seeing the same thing happening to black people over and over. Even when you go to all the drugs with Kamla and all them things, they run wrong. They tell you something resembling weed. So much years past, and they come and say it was weed. Then they come and say she wasn't there and thing. But with black people, that when the time when they legalize it and all two again, and there's two again the same thing, the foolishness again with the black people again too. They come and tell you weed, yeah, weed legal and thing now, but it have a certain amount you can carry and thing. Really and true, it's not legal again. That's again now to go and destroy, and the same thing again. You get too much and you still go and face the lawyers and them. So it has nothing more. It illegal and thing whatever. It is illegal still because they can't carry amount. I could go on if I had to go and buy any soft drink. I think about any amount of soft drink. It has no limit for me to buy soft drink. It has no limit for amount of bread I go and buy. But I see now one coming back to them thing. It has to limit the amount and things. So really and true, it's not illegal again. But again. Now, because they do this, they want tonight and all too again. So the same thing now, if it was to come and say, well, cocaine legal, people now would have going to look to move on to something again now and keep on things. So the government more or less giving you things to smoke itself and all too. When the ministry now telling you that smoking is dangerous to health and all too. So really and truly they're telling you that, but again now, how would have people again selling these things on them and things to again. So again, you're seeing again black people have no power. No matter how it's so much ways you can keep on going about this and thing again. Wherever black people is, they're going to be penalized by all these other nations and them. And today we go show that this Bible only belongs to black people. And black people need to segregate from all these other nations and them. Full 100 and thing, right? So now we go to Psalms 147 and verse 19.
Okay. The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He showeth his Jacob his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So the Most High say, he showed his word and judgment unto Israel. He haven't dealt with any other nation and them. And for these other nations, like yeah, thank God or you know these things and them and thing again. And then after now, when you watch again, right? So if the Most High tell you have to give his laws, statutes, and judgment unto Israel, and you haven't just with other nations. So one, now you have to find out who Israel is, right? And today, Israel is the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. So when you go back to all these other nations, and then you see that East Indian in the Christian church and thing, right? Telling you about the Bible, and then when the Most High done list already, you only give his laws, statutes, and judgment unto Israel. No other nation on the face that you shouldn't be picking up this Bible and thing, right? So that one, we should be when we see them things going on, we should be walking out. When you go on the flip side of things now, could a Negro man go in a Hindu temple and go on and tell people about Hanuman and Shiva and Brahma and all them things, and they go walk out from there,
Right.
and you'll never see it. And then you're not gonna see it, and then because they're gonna say, hey, well, you don't belong to here. And then they say, no, we get out again now having all these other nations teaching the Bible, and that was never set up by the Mosai and thing, right? So
Right.
Mosai say one people on the face that you give his laws, statutes, and judgment to, right? I think so. They don't know how to, and then too again, when you see things going on and all too again, they don't know how to deal with situations and all kind of thing too and all too, right? They only watch today and all too. These other nations and them, they want to get a big work and thing. Somebody tell them, hey, bring well, bring your wife, you will get through the work and thing. You send your wife to go and sleep, all them things. We know, hey, these things can never happen again when coming to the Musa again. And these other nations is not of the Musa and not to us again. And when they say, well, yeah, and thing, yeah, them, yeah, boy, you go prosper, yeah, you go prosper in the long run and all kind of thing. Nah, leave them thing alone. Black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Because
Right.
again, all these things do not belong to we, right?
Right.
See, anything we going off with to smoking, we women walking the street half naked and all the thing. We picking up these things from these other nations and them. Just like thieving and thing. We going and thief come like we really we shaming white people and thing because them is professionals and thing. But when we go and do it we getting catch, we getting hold, because that what them trained to do and thing. Same thing like being a whole and thing. There's no other nation and them from like when you check back all them other nations, we getting all them prostitutes and them. We feeling when a black woman going and do them, we making them look we making them look bad and things. So the same thing we not supposed to be picking up ourselves doing these things and them, right? So let's go to Matthew 5 and verse 17.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So this is Christ, right? So all who are like to talk about Christ, Christ, loving Christ and this and that and Christ is my savior and all kind of all the Christians and them. And then your Christ saying he ain't come to destroy the law. So now we're getting to know that hey, Christ come to uphold the law and thing. So all the laws and them is to keep them, right? And wherever the prophets and them say, wherever Jeremiah say, you have to keep it.
Right.
Whatever Isaiah say, you have to keep it, right? Whatever Amos say, you have to keep it. Joel say, you have to keep it, right? We go to Paul, Peter, and them, whatever them say, you have to keep it and all too, right? And all the other prophets and thing, what we miss out and thing, right? Zechariah, Zephaniah, we have to keep all the thing. Whatever they say, we have to uphold it and thing. He ain't come to destroy the law and he ain't come to condemn the prophets and them. Because all the prophets and them were speaking of him and thing, right? And all too. So even when you go back and all from all Genesis from the 49th chapter, now you go start to see they were always talking about Christ and all too from Genesis. You go in Isaiah, they're talking about Christ and thing. You keep on going, you keep on seeing the coming of Christ. Even in the New Testament and all too, they coming and thing and they're always talking about with him. And he ain't come to condemn them neither. And then come to uphold what they see, right? Right. So now we know that hey, one, black people, the law, statute, and judgment is given unto you. No, God, the Most High never deal with other nations. So right now, black man, you should be feeling happy when you hearing these things and them. You know why? Because why? You the closest thing to the Most High on the face of the earth. No other nation never get that recognition from the Most High and things. So now you say, right, you know what, really and truly, by hey, right? I really belong to the Most High now. And think I married to the Most High. The Most High give me a laws. He's the only person talk to me and think. Now you say like, hey, wanting to know everything the Most High set up, all the Most High laws and all that, and that's following the Christian church and tell, hey, The laws and them done away with. Now you could go and sin. Now you could go and eat pork, crab, shin, lobster. Now you could go and be a homosexual and thing. Now you could go and thief and thing. And thing. Now you could go and murder your brother and all these things and no sin and thing. And when you do that again, black man, they're destroying your families and all them thing, right? So now you go to Romans 10 and 1 and 2.
Come. Book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved.
Right. So hold on. So now, this is Paul again. So who are you talking to? Israel, right? You're not talking to the other nations and them. And I know a lot of things again with the Christian church like to move. They like to move away from Christ and go to Christ giving it straightforward and go now and picking it up and going to Paul when Peter and that he said these things with the man and them will say it's very hard to understand and thing. And if you do have the knowledge of him, now we're going on again. Now we're going to confusion and thing, right? So now again they like to run to Paul, but again now Paul addressing this thing, addressing this too for the Most High for Israel, right? Didn't say the Chinese, he didn't say the Japanese, and then he didn't say the Arabs and them. To Israel, right? Verse what?
Verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge.
So when we watch the thing, right? So one, again now, we have again all these Christian churches set up and thing, all black people packing up the church and then when you go and watch and thing, no other nation packs up all these Christian church every Saturday and Sunday, all kind of thing. So one, when they go on church on the Sunday, they go on Sunday worship and things. So that one that don't go on wrong. And when you still know the Saturday, you're still not going to learn the Most High feast days, how to deal with your brothers and them. And there's a set of sermons walk around and thing. And the biggest thing that's waiting for you, that's the most important thing that's waiting for on that day is just to take your tithes and thing. And at the end of the day, you're fighting with your brother, you're watching the next woman at the side of you gossiping and saying, but what you see what's going on with she and she husband and this and that and a set of gossip and all them things, and that was going on in the Christian church and not helping black people, right?
Right.
And thing, right? And now you say, we have a zeal, right? But we do, so we have a zeal, but we know according to knowledge and thing, right? So again, now we have the wrong, when you go and check now, we have the wrong people teaching the Bible. So now, again, I follow the Christian church and thing, but you're seeing black brothers teaching the Bible, but where they getting the philosophies from? They're getting the philosophy from the white man and thing. When the white man never would deal and thing, white man don't know the laws starting and judgments and thing, how the mysteries of the Bible, everything, how and thing, right? So again, now they're taking everything straightforward with it, and that's not talking. So just like we go say, hey, all soul fish sweet and thing. Right, man, gonna actually think Israeli soulfish are really talking about when they're not really talking about that and thing. And thing same thing when you seen dog and thing. I think by now they are wrong, they will understand. But say back then, if all these things were to come out and things, they'll be confused and things, right? So they don't know again these all these different things in the Bible and things, right? Again, and we people are straightforward now, and then after and again we follow the Christian church. And when you watch you again, and thing, we're the ones living in shock, we're the ones having went jobs and thing, we're the ones waiting for pension and can't say in mind, wait, boy, I only have 5 more years. I only have 5 more years to go to get pension and thing. When these other nations instead of worrying about that and thing, because these other nations have businesses set up for their families to continue again instead of worrying about that and thing. I know when you think they have businesses set up, and you know when that time you're still gonna take the government pension when you're trying to think for again. And you know what? Some of that they instead of touching it, they're going to they're going to get a family. But you, black man and Hispanics man, you're going to take that pension and buy bill, tea and tech bill. You're going to buy food. You're going to do all sort of things. You're going to look to build a bathroom, and there is reality item thing too again. And you check back again, nothing. And then after now, when we check the school system and all too again, it's like it's only up to 4 and 5. We try them reaching, and just to go back out there and get all these minimum wage. When these other nations them full out, they're going to get all the PhD and all these things and diploma bachelor and degree, and then they just keep on going and things to the highest they could reach and thing, right? And the same thing now, we just waiting for 75 and is that they start stop there, and that's 1 or 2 are we reach, and then after the 1 or 2 make it, they think that, hey, let me go and live Palmas and thing. Let me go up Diego Martin and thing, right? Richmond and all these things, all these other areas move away from the people and now feel like, hey, Palmas and thing, and let me go and live among all the East Indians and feel like, yeah, I'm going to go and buy an Audi and thing, and yeah, you make it and thing, you update with them other nations and them, when you really actually not update, because again, you will more or less now, you can get shut down anytime from these other nations and them. No protection and all too, right? So give me Matthew 28. No, give me 18 and
Come.
19.
The book of Matthew, chapter 28 and verse 18. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Verse 19. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
So now again, when I go and read to the whole thing now, so now they go say yeah, the New Testament and thing now, yeah, the old one was about the nation of Israel and things. So now when they come here now, they go start to say yeah, the Christ, all nations and thing, right? But Christ get when you go all in Matthew and thing, right? And when you go from all Samuel and thing, right? So you say you sleep with your fathers and thing, and when you go through all the scriptures and you say better go and get it. So again, and this is Christ again now again from see the prophecy of Christ coming through, right? And when thy days be fulfilled, and this is King David here, right? And when thy days be fulfilled, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers. I will set up thy seed after thee, which I shall proceed out of thy bowel, and I will establish his kingdom, right? He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever, right? So when we check back again now, say all these things again is law, statutes, and judgments unto Israel and thing, right? So when we go and check, we go back now and thing now. So this can't be King Solomon, because we know King Solomon kingdom fall, right? So now this again now more thing. This is Christ here now, and we establish his kingdom forever again, right? And now when you go to the scriptures and thing, right? And now you start to see now, and you go to the thing, and say Christ say, I only come for the lordship of the house of Israel and thing, right? And now when you go up before and you're going to look up now, you're going to see that Israel is made up of 12 tribes again, which is all these Puerto Ricans, Brazilians, and which again now when we go to Genesis, when we go to Genesis 49, and let's start at 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Verse 2. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Verse 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength. the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power.
Right. So there's Ruben. This is one of the brothers again, which is the Samuel Indians and them. So again now this is one Negro thing, you end up growing and turning family, and the family now turn into the nation, which is all the Samuel Indians we go more or less find all in Canada and all these things, and then some of the America and all too, right? So let me go to verse 5.
Oh God. Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
Right. So now this is Simeon and Levi, right, which is the Dominican Republic and Haiti, right? So again now this is again now see again this Levi again now we growing nation the whole you know where he residing right now, and then after Simeon again now the Dominican Republic now again see now what there's a nation itself are going again to. Then you go to Judah, verse 8.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So there you're getting two comparison here. So now Judah again, all the Negroes and them in American thing, right? So now you're getting that hey, your brethren shall praise thee. So all these other tribes and them are going to praise thee. So when you go back and think we can come back out and get King David, get King Solomon, and most of important Christ, right? So Christ coming out from Judah itself and thing too. So that just to prove that again that you know the Most High did not impregnate Mary, right? And thing too, right? So you know you start to see now. Let me just take then you go to verse 13.
Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of ship. Salakia. Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
So when we check Zebulun, that tribe think that more or less Panama to Guatemala, right? So when you check that again, see now all these I think check the population again, all these things are nation of people. So again, this is who Christ was talking about and thing. Was in the other thing. This is the same 12 tribes and these brothers and them too and thing they grew and the family grew and now they are nations and thing. 12 tribe of Israel, and Israel is a nation full of 12 different tribes, right? Which are Israelite. But the same thing again, they are different, and them too, right? So just like a Jew is an Israelite, but not all Israelites are Jew, right? So the same thing in there, right? So now again the thing now that hey, these nations they're talking about is the 12 tribes of Israel, not the other nations than them. So again now the Christians just come and tell you, well, yeah, look, Christ come for everybody. I think when Christ ain't come for everybody, that is the same 12 tribes of Israel the Christ come for, right? Yo, give me Galatians 3 and 28.
Come. The book of Galatians, chapter 3 and verse 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Christ Jesus.
So when we go through this and all too, right? So this is like this, you know, well, hey, them Jew and them Greek and them. So like they come and say, well, all right, they black and this is so they're black and this is white and this is white and thing. When when really and true that was Jews who was speaking that Grecian tongue and things. So now they more or less say like they call them Greeks and things, right? So when you go and look it up and all, you're going to see the definition for it and things. So now they go start to say, well, hey, that black so that the only two people black and white? No. It's just like when we it's just like today when we have we brothers and them and thing, right? Something like them Jamaicans and them and then we and thing and then after now something. But one to them Jamaicans and them boy and thing. When we have them as we same brothers, but again now it's like I remember a time I going in the shop and thing, and a Jamaican now, but really and truly, she renting from somebody, so something was more expensive. It was the soft drink was because she renting, she raised the soft drink and then she raised the bad dollar. So the brother said, but one of them Jamaicans and them boy and things. So I say, hey, no, she's she's one away, you know. So tell them no, she's one away and thing. Is there any difference? That's that country she come from, but she's a same sister. She's a same sister way and thing. So like. The main thing was really the soft drink and thing, but we lashing out and thing is she's a Jamaican and this is all these things keep on thing that all these things that's destroying people American and thing so when these things is not with nationality and thing, it's just countries and we fighting for these things and fighting but the same thing now happening again with we brothers and them back then and things. So the same thing happening here and thing. So the same thing that the Jews and then go keeping the tongue, keeping the philosophies and thing. And now we have the same Jews and them now they're going off and speaking a different language and all thing. And again now into all these Grecian customs and all these things and saying, well, hey, yeah, so it I know as a Paul, you know, it I know Jew and no Greek and it I know Jew and no Greek. All is one year and thing. So the same thing now when we see we brothers and thing. I know Jamaican and thing, I know Venezuelan and all them thing here. All are we is one right now and thing. All are we under one umbrella and thing. And thing. So just like when we check when we go back and check, all are we went to slavery and thing. That people was keeping the laws and thing, but our nation we fail and that we think. So Peter, they say Peter pay for Paul, well Paul pay for all and thing. So the same thing happened and thing. It had men great name. So when you go back and thing. And 12, and so that just the count. The 12 men who following Christ, that was keeping the laws. But we still went to slave because as a nation we fail. So if you have 9,000 and thing, say people make up Israel and thing, right? And then after you only have 20,000 people and thing as a nation, 900,000 Israelites, right? And then after that nation, you have 20 something thousand that's following the laws. As a nation, we fail. The percentage is not there. And that will happen to things. So as a nation, we pay and then going to slavery and things. So black Hispanics and Native Indian man, forget all them Jamaican thing. Forget all them Venezuelan and thing. All of these black people on this earth here and thing, right? We need to come together and as the most I say in Zephaniah, gather yourself together, whole nation, not desire and thing. When you watch wrong again, everybody are bad. Everybody are bad. They say about black people. Everybody are bad. They say about Venezuelans and some of we black people we following all the gossips these other nations and them pushing and thing, right? So no and thing. When you check back that again, that is the same. What Paul was talking about it. That is the same brothers and them. They're speaking different tongues and thing, and the same brothers and nothing else and thing, right? Give me Matthew. So all these scriptures they like to use and say, well, here, see, the Jew, the Greek, and thing. And that and talking about that. Yeah, look like all nations and things should be saved and thing. That's not talking about that, and thing. But again, that was talking about the 12 tribes of Israel and thing. And they keep on using this again. And because again, now we're getting the wrong doctrines and thing because they're in the wrong place and thing, right? So come up and think what the I.S.U.P.K. We have classes from Monday to right show the week and thing, right? Starts at 7 o'clock and thing, right? And thing I'm getting full understanding how we go about teaching and how we should be going out as a nation, right? Okay, ma'am. Galatians. Give me Matthew 5 and 44.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
So again now they go tell you, all right. I say you have to love the East Indian man, love the Chinese man, love the white man, love the Africans, love the Arabs and them. Again, I.S.U.P.K come to tell you that was never talking about these other nations and them. So when you watch wrong again black people and thing, right? When you watch wrong and thing, we are wrong the East Indians and them, we are wrong the Syrians and them. Check how much East Indians ever fall out with and thing. And then on a daily basis and thing. It's not the East Indians Christ is talking about, it's your own brothers and them you are talking about and then. Check how much people is telling about your mother, this son, and all them things, and check the girls and them. Hey, you only sleeping with the man next door, and all kind of thing. Girl, don't come around me and all them things. And when you check and think who it is the thing and who it is you're making enemies with and thing too, right? And not talking about that. So now all these things now we have to look into now and things. So it have enemies in the Bible now. But it's talking about these other nations, and then after now it have enemies now. But it's talking about the nation of Israel. So just like in a house and thing, a family go have a man go have his sons and his daughters and thing. It at much sometime there was fighting, there wasn't talking. They go make back up. Hey, you know what? Let me go and buy a dress for my sister and put back that smile and she face because you know you fall out with your sister and thing. The same thing will happen and thing. So we all 12 tribes at some time we had fallen out and things. So the most I tell Christ tell you, hey, love your enemy, love your brother and thing. Was not the other nations Christ was talking about again. So and then go to thing, Christ did not come for these other nations, but you will get to see later on now in the scriptures what these Christians leaders should be pulling for, but they're pulling these scriptures here again now to bamboozle you and feel like, hey, look, one have love and sympathy for these other nations and them when we should not and thing, right? The most likely stay away from these other nations and them, right? And things. So I love to do all these things. And when you check back again who we are, we always fighting against. When you watch them, who the brothers and them murdering each other and them all in Trinidad and Tobago, all in Jamaica and thing, all in America and thing is human brothers again. But again now they're pushing all these things and they're pushing the guns in the communities, these other nations. So you see again, love thy enemies and them, love thy enemies, they're pushing the drugs in the community, they're pushing the guns in the communities and them. When you watch again, I think this is twice again. I hope when black people see it, you see two elections, and again, we following things when the most I never say for we to follow and thing. When the most I see you, he will send that man for we and thing. You're following things, election, we're not supposed to be following that, but you've seen it for yourself again, two elections, you see how them East Indians and them, how they run them out and call we all sorts of things and thing. And you see it again, and we still want to, yeah, love them East Indians. And when again now, when we come out now and bring these scriptures and them in the Bible and thing to black people now, when these things shall be taught from me from small, now you as a big man, now the shit they put in your head from small, and now you get a say, now you go in, you know, you go down there, boy, it's racist something and waiting. When we not know racist and thing, we just speaking the truth with the most I want we to do one thing and thing too. So most I say separate from these other nations is to separate and thing. Right. And I just say and thing. Who we ought to be on the face of the most I and thing, right? And that what it is. So guys and thing and you want to follow you I.S.U.P.K. So the same thing again. And then after some people go come and say, boy, you only following or you only following man and all kind of thing. But who it is again at the end of the day? When the most I send all them prophets and them and thing. When they wanted was to go and inquire about the most I, who he had was to go to at a certain time. When Jeremiah was there, Jeremiah had was to go to and think the choir about the most like Isaiah, Joel, Amos and them and think all these men and them at different time. When you had was like Paul, when they go and want to go and look up thing and they want to go and inquire about the most I had was to go to Paul. Well, the black man and Hispanic man, you want to inquire about the most I, you have to go to the I.S.U.P.K. and you go get all the history, get all the knowledge, get all the laws, get the whole love and thing and gathering back with people and thing, right? Yeah, so the enemies was not talking about the enemies was not talking about these other nations and them. And we go just go into some of these things just to show that hey, these enemies and them is not it wasn't talking about love thy enemies and them. So let me go to Deuteronomy 21 and 10. And you get to see that hey, that Israel and thing, just like our race was and thing, we just like when as we've seen again when a man have a family and thing, you go have brothers, you go have certain amount of sons, daughters, and they go be fighting and thing. This is our law. This is our law now concerning Israel when we went against the brothers and them, right? So give me Deuteronomy 21 to 10 to 14.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21 and verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
Hold on. So now, again, all right. So now you're getting something here, all right. So now again, you see now, hey, brother now see I'm a beautiful wife and thing, right? So now we're getting some instructions what's going to happen here and thing, right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and shalt shave her head and pare her nails.
Right. So now, so she full of filth and thing, right? She here dirty. She nails her mud. She nails her blood and her blood on it. She nails just as yesterday again. We should be clipping with nails and thing. Always keeping that cleanness and thing. So all these things again, because when check back in the Mosai is of cleanliness and thing, right? So all these things they keep on saying, don't touch they do not touch the carcass of them animals and them, right, and things. Say see the cleanliness and all to say no, we're seeing again. Go ahead verse 4.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Verse 13. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Right. So now I see all these things that she take off all them clothes, that she get some time to mourn over she family and all them things, right? So now again, so now when you go back up to verse 10, let's be back up to verse 10. So again, now you see now, hey, this is a law for we. And when the Most I say give his laws, statutes, and judgment unto Israel again. So this was not talking about these other nations. So again, people go say, well, yeah, look, look, yeah, this is about another nation. They say, but now when you go we're going to bring out the last scripture now to see that what the Most I say. So this is a law for Israel. And now you get to know that, hey, we itself how we was fighting against with him. So now it had wars with the different tribes and them too again too. Just as the day going on. But when we in a household and things, many times I fall out with my brothers and them too and thing, right? So go back up to verse 10.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21 and verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive. Verse 11. And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
All right. So again, so we brothers sometimes could be we enemies and them too, not new today and all too. So now when let me go to Deuteronomy 7:3 now.
Come on. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
So the Most High, we know that, hey, do not marry these other nations. Do let your daughter go on to them men and them, and do let your men go on to them daughters and them and thing too. So same. That's the reverse and thing. So we is not to be marrying these other nations and them, or coming to all these Dogla and all these mulatto and all these chauffeurists and talking about mixed race and all these things and them. There no mixed race on the face of it. You see that your father, wherever he is, your father is here, you see of your father. And we black and Hispanics, man, we only people we should be intermingling with is the nation of Israel, right? Right? Nobody else and thing. And all these things we think we should be taught from small and thing, right? Knowing these things and them, right? But again, the Christian church again want we to sin against the Most High and thing, right? So all these things again, the Matthew thing, love thy enemies and thing. Yeah, white man rape and kill. We love the white man and thing. And thing the East Indians, hey, or his cockroach or his niggers and thing. Love the East Indians and them when they call we all these things and them too, right? And same thing with all these other nations and them. But love the Chinese and thing, like when they're talking to you like they're taking up woman, you go from here and all kind of thing and thing. Yeah, love the Chinese and them too and thing. Mosai not talking about that. Mosai said, love your brothers, right? Give me Psalms 83 and 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
Edom, the so-called white man.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Arabs and them.
Of Moab.
The Chinese and them.
And the Hagarenes.
These Africans and them.
Verse 7. Gebal and Ammon.
Japanese.
And Amalek.
These people take their identity and call themselves Israelis.
And the Philistines.
Same Africans and them.
And the inhabitants of Tyre.
Same Africans and them. So right there. So hold it right there. So no. When we see these and things, this is what the Mosai talking about here now, who's really we enemies and them here now. So this scripture here is naturally talking about these other nations and them and things. We take full advantage of we and things, right? Take we identity, they oppress we, put us in slavery, kill we, and then cut out the native Indians and them, the women and them, drop the babies on the ground again. When check all the holidays and them Thanksgiving and thing, where again when they go on, take they make a feast just to remember what they do. I eating turkey and again we now follow man. These are what the nations and them, this is all these nations and them do we here and thing. When they go in the book of Esther again, these East Indians and them again. You don't know who judge between the white man and the East Indians and them. One wanted to fully wipe out, kill every black man on the face of the earth. The next one killing, raping, torturing, oppressing, and things like that. And these is the nations and them right here the Mosai talking about and thing. So now again come to I.S.U.P.K. Now you will get to know which verse is talking about Israel. Again, you black man, and which verse is talking about these other nations and them and thing too. So again, I will come and tell hey, love thy enemies again. Okay, say and thing, right? Do what and thing let me go back to that same Matthew love thy enemies Matthew 5 and verse 44.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Right, so now when you watch back again, you have a brother, you only borrowing money from you, or you have a brother every time you have money and thing, you having money, he only come into line with you and thing. But when he have money, he going with all the other friends and not seeing him. But when money done, he coming back and thing. There's all these things that guys, just talking about and thing. And who these things happening to again? Black people and thing. You see that for yourself what is happening. So there's no lie about it that is black people you talking about here. And not the other nations and them, right?
So like
where the Officer Michael?
Yeah, if I may, just to add to what you're saying, right? As how you're distinguishing between the two enemies, because that is where the Christian church really cause us to miss the ball, right? That is how our religious leaders fail us, because they didn't understand the scriptures, right? And just as they rightfully saying, it have a distinction between the two enemies, like enemies in the world and even enemies among ourselves, right?
Yeah,
and if I could read one precept.
Go ahead, no sin.
All right. That will be Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. Babakosha. The book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Verse 36, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Right? And just to add to the example you're bringing out, right? How your enemies could even be them of your own people as well.
Yeah. And even as they say again now, when coming back to and even when coming back to Christ and all too again, you'll see as they know, and this is a very good one to pull. So when now coming back to the truth and thing, right? So now when you hear again now, you hear that, hey, you know what? But Christ is a crisis of my lineage and things. So that's the right we see now. I hear about crisis of my lineage. Now you want to go and follow things that you want to go and follow things that the Messiah. Now the things that your parents would have be going, your parents would be going and follow and things. Now your mother going against you and going against. Boy, one to you, boy, you got hey, you better come up my house and thing. See this thing you getting yourself into and all kind of thing. I think that and think and really and truly with the two people that was following Christ, this is the real deal here and thing. And now as Christ said, you will make all kind of enmity between all these different families and things. And now you're turning family, you're turning against your own family here now again. Because why? These laws was given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So now, as the right we say, and our good precept people for this to show that hey, you're going and turn enemies with your own family, and you're going and turn enemies with your own family and thing. Remember, my brother, we pumping farm when Carnival. I would never have a person into Christmas and thing. And now I the I.S.U.P.K. I think. Well, I used to have about $10,000 saved up for Carnival, the fets and the Carnival. I come and say, hey, you're going on. You have your own farm. You have your own farm. This year for Carnival, I ain't not going through that no more. I'm thinking, you say, boy, one you, boy, you tell me about that. And I started telling you about. I started saying, boy, no, boy, them thing we doing it. I know the most because when you really check back, so I tell them, I say, boy, really and truly, the most I say a woman should be a modest apparel and all these things. I say, hey, when they check this, I think these women are really naked and thing we really jumping up and all too. And when they check back on a normal day, the man going and sending white to walk the road with them things like. Yeah, boy. Well, that you. I think I seen again now. There, that don't see that. And now you're gonna really see how Christ was saying how the wide road and the narrow road. So now you really see now how these things can really now make you get rifts with your own families and all too. And very good precept people there, Officer Michael. Thanks very much. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 7. The Lord shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways.
So now again, I do hear the I.S.U.P.K. and thing. This way it is, and the most I saying you will kill all our enemies and them and things. Plain and simple and things. So this is enemies he talking about here is the nation of Israel. All these other nations and all the other nations and them who going against the nation of Israel and things. So here we see you'll kill them and things. Don't hear the I.S.U.P.K. Wherever the I.S.U.P.K. say it is of the Bible and thing too. They say it of the Bible and thing. They say the truth. And also they do what the Bible is saying, right? And thing, right? So now, so when we think again, I come out now and it's telling him that hey, the Most High going and deal with the other nations and them very cruel and thing, like hey, nah, God is a loving God and thing, and now again now the push that we hear again to all these Christian church and thing. When you check by a lot of verses again, you see the Most High was killing and thing, even when you go into things. So how we could see God is a loving God, but when you check back all kind of thing with Saul, the Most High tells Saul, kill everyone and thing again and thing. Sam, when you go back and think David, they gain orders and thing. And we forget, like we go in Christian church, we like, nah, You just forget about some of the biggest set of stories on the face of the earth, and you now God is a loving God, but He's the biggest killer on the face of the earth. Nobody have more number than the Most High.
Yeah.
And then go ahead over the mic.
The Egyptian.
Yeah, so again, I think all these Egyptians and everything with the stupidness again, and Ra and God on that world and all these stupidness and thing. Nobody have more kills than the Most High. Nobody on the face of the earth. And no matter how your scenes, you die. If you die from sucking a chenet, is the Most High determined that if you live for that you're going down in a car accident, you want to know why, hey, but wait now, that person survived that. And then after now some small little accident on the road. You say, but wait now, that person dead, boy? And then is of the Most High. Gunshot, you think that you're going to the hospital, them doctors and them working up the needle, yeah, go and do a surgery, boop. And then, yeah, happy you go back home. Then after somebody go again, and the crying down the face is of the Most High and thing. The Most High determines who live or die on the thing, no matter of any, whether it be of Israel or be of the other nations. But there's some things with the Most High give the nation of Israel, right? Which is to rule these other nations on the face of the earth and thing, right? And what we do, we start to pick up all these other nation customs, and now black people in trouble and thing. Right. The same thing black people you wasn't keeping and thing. Now is the time to come back and keep the Most High laws. And you only want people again, because now we check back again. The Christian church don't teach us for so much yet and still teaching your shit. And still you're staying inside it, not making no sense. And then you're seeing it again, right? So I need to come out from the Christian church. Better just be better just stay out who in there? I don't want to come to I.S.U.P.K. Let's stay out of the Christian church. And then I stop gaining these and stop building the white man empire and things. Because they're using all these different terms to build the empire and thing, right? Come out from the Christian church. Came in Romans 11 and 1. So now you start to see now which the different enemies now and things. So one, you go, no, hey, that enemy talking about with them, say, get one in Deuteronomy now, see the Most High, when we went to war, the Christ saying, love that the same brothers and them in your own houses, then the same Matthew 10 and verse 34, again, we see now, enemies of their own people. So now you get to know that, hey, who they're talking about and thing, right? Let's go to Romans 11. This is another one they love to pull. So come on, Romans 11 1 first.
The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
So again now, that's how you are talking about here. So this is Paul, right? And Paul making now, letting you know that which tribe he from, right? So that's how you are talking earlier on that hey, all these other nations and them and one thing is of Israel. So now again now this is Paul. So Christ is from Judah. We have Daniel from more or less Dan, which is really where most of them going into Manasseh, right? The tribe of Cubans and things. So we are all the different prophets and them where they're coming from different tribes and all these things and them, right? So this is here now, and we say from the seed. So again, all we forefathers come down. So Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, these was the forefathers. So now you know that I from Benjamin, right? So again now, so see again. So when you check up again, this black man again. So who again this black man talking to? The same people and thing again. So now this is the one that like to come again. So this is Paul now again. They love the say all kind of thing, right? I say straightforward. Yeah, look, Paul say this and thing. And when Peter say, hey, this man thing is very hard to understand, right? But again now, because we have other people teaching me Bible now again, like going off and thing, right? So now again, so you say what Christ say earlier on, I give my law, statute, and judgment unto Israel. So now we're seeing again Christ of the tribe of Judah, Now this is Paul. You are Daniel. All these different brothers and coming from different tribes and them too again. So he never give it to nobody else, right? Hold on. Trying to look for they can mix up a scripture here. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Right. So it have so we will go to Romans 11 and 22. So all these scriptures they like to pick and bring it to the other nations and say, well, yeah, these other nations and them they're coming to the Most High, right? Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 22. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of the Most High on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in goodness. Otherwise, thou shalt be cut off.
Right, hold on. Right, so now we're getting it which part we thinking from. So it's from 25 to what the verse 23.
Verse 23. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. But the Most High is able to graft them in again.
So this is the time with the tribes and them. This is the time where the tribes and them split, right? So we have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which more or less remain in Israel, right? Thing, right? And then after now we are the 12. We are the 9 other. Now we say 9.5 tribes, right? Now left, right. So now again now, so this is now Judah, Benjamin, Levi now been taught now coming to get the truth from Christ now, right? So now again now they come back again now and thing again, right? So now these are the tribes and them more or less they're gone and thing, right? So now again now, so now they have to come back to the Most High, right? Again, so they had the Most High laws and thing. You know what? We didn't keep it. Now they end up outcasts and thing, right? So now we see this now, they're gonna these things that are gonna start to say, well, hey, these are our nations and them now, so they're gonna be grafted in and thing. No, so if you know the history of the nation of Israel, we've been split, right? Right? So the nation of Israel been split. So now we no longer no longer a nation again. So now we have all them Brazilian all here. We have again with the Brazilians and them and all the tribe of Asha and all these things. We have all Zebulon and thing, right? We have I.S.U.P.K and all these others and them split now, right? Go ahead, verse 24.
Verse 24. For if thou wert cut off of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and would graft contrary to nature into a good olive tree.
Right, so hold on. So when you check back this now, so this is more or less Judah, Benjamin, and Levi now. So now again now the whole nation went against the Most High, right? So now this is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi now. So that was like all olive and thing, right? So now again now they get back the truth of the Most High now. They start back to keep they start back to keep the Most High laws. So they're no longer old. So that's the same thing when we go back and with that same baptism and thing. You take away that old, now you pour away that old man, now you become something, new. That you have a different spirit now. So now this is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi now now come back to the with name. So now they're a different spirit. So the brand new and thing, right? They're no more longer in the world and thing again, right? Go ahead.
Concern, how much more shall these which be the natural branches be grafted into their own olive tree?
So just like now, just like these are just like how Judah, Benjamin, and Levi get the laws and thing, and now they end up good olives and thing. That's what I think. So these are the tribes and them. They need to get the same. They need to get the same too. So that's just like how them was and thing. It was into the world and thing. And now they get the truth and thing. Now so the same thing again. The same nine and a half. So the whole of Israel, more or less, the whole of Israel have to come back to the Most High and thing. So this truth here, this Bible is not only for you blacks and them and thing. It's for all these other tribes and them. So when you go back and think, it's for the Mexicans and them, the Cubans and them, the Colombians and them, the Brazilians and them, the Native Indians, the tribe of God and things. So this is where you're trying to bring back the nation together and thing, right? So then after they love to say, well, yeah, look these are look the Most High talking about these other things drafting. When that again was not talking about white name. So again, the white man again pushing all these doctrines on them against the white we black brothers and them, and now the black brothers coming out to push all these things on them and destroying me again when we himself know that hey, them Venezuelans and them and them Colombians and them is we brothers and them. So that when they're watching the and the I.S.U.P.K, you see on some of the banners that go for bring back black and brown together and things. So you know that hey, these are the tribes and them is of the nation of Israel. They know about black people. They know about you Negroes and thing alone, right? They know about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. It's about all these other nine. It's about all these other 9 tribes and them, right? So go on to verse 25.
The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
So when you check up what all these things will happen to Israel, we lost our identity. We are in the Western hemisphere and thing. We don't know we don't know all these other nations, and we don't know all these other tribes and them, all these Venezuelans, Colombians, Brazilians and them, which is where we where we check back the following in the world, they're doing the sin against the Most High. So the Most High again now, so Paul is saying that, hey, you know what, Judah, Benjamin, or I get back the laws, but so too now, these are the tribes that get back, so that to move away from that Gentile spirit, that whoremongering spirit and thing, going against the Most High, that smoking spirit and thing. So when this again now, they go think that hey, this Gentile again now is talking about these are nations and them, right? And thing again, when again all these cases, just like you see enemies and thing, just like you see enemies in the Bible and thing, you go think it's the other nations and them. When you sometimes enemies is of your own people, it is of the own nation of Israel. So when sometimes you see Gentiles and all too, these Gentiles in Romans 11 and 25 and thing was not talking about these other nations and them and thing, right? So now you get to see Now, with Gentiles, what Gentiles, these are the Gentiles again now, we're talking about these other nations. So this one we'll get to see with Christ, you know, and things. So again, when coming back to the law and thing, so you see again now to the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they get the spirit of the Most High. So again now, but again, when you check back the olive tree and thing, you have the, when you go back and thing, you have the branch, you have the root, all these things make up a tree. But again now, when you check back when you check back again, so the Most High say we are holy people, separate, right? But that meaning now, so when we go back and think all these other nations, all these other tribes and them, and think all these things to the following and think having praising this in Brazil, this white Jesus and think what's name is Caesar Boaz, the imposter and think what take we king identity and calling himself thing again, and now we think so all these things we praising idolatry and things, so we had to move away from that. So again, till all be fulfilled, till all these tribes and them come back together, right? So now we go see what is Gentiles now talking about. Now we're going to see now these other Gentiles. Give me Matthew 10 and that's the one. Give me Matthew 10, give me 1 first.
Book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
Right, so just how them the 12 disciples been taught by Christ and thing. Yeah, no, you go and you and thing, and then after now bring back your people, move away all evilness from your people, go and clean your people and thing, right? So and then clean your people, all them thing, right? So now we telling them all these different things here. Now he giving them and thing, right? More or less the truth, right? He gave them the truth now to go again, to go and spread it to people and them, right? Go to verse 2.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 2. Now, the names of the 12 apostles are these. The first, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother. Verse 3, Philip and Bartholomew.
All right, hold on. So we ain't gonna go through and call all the 12 and things. So this is the 12 that's calling out and thing, right? So now we're going to see now coming to Christ here now, right? So now this is 12 he get them power to go against and to clean, to go and teach, go and clean, go and move out demons and all these things and them, right? So now where we go to verse 5 now.
Verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right. So all these people them like they say Jesus Christ love everybody and thing. How he can love everybody now? See, give these men and them certain powers to go and do, right? And now he making it straightforward that hey, go you not into the way of the Gentiles. So one, that done. Even if we didn't say know who Gentile is, but now we know it can't be a snake you're talking about. It can't be a dog and thing, right? So it can't be a monkey and thing, right? So it can't be a shark and thing, right? So this is people. So even so, they didn't know. I say that Christ love everybody and thing. He telling these men and them, hey, oil do not go anywhere. These people and them, and I love to say Christ love everybody and thing. So he done making that already. So now, when you go to the thing now, here we see it now, right? Go to verse 6.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So who Christ come for? Christ come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Christ only come for Israelites and things. Nobody else on the face of the earth. And here we say, do not go anywhere the Gentiles. So these Gentiles is talking about these other nations and them and thing, right? So now again, now you'll get to know that sometimes Gentiles and all is referred to as we Israelites picking up all these other customs, all these filthiness on them. And because why? Because we have things we have to follow. We have the heritage we have to follow. And when we go against the white name, it's like that the nickname we have, that we nickname we get and things. So that's like or so some people get some nickname. I think a brother wrote them down. I see, way boy, that one, way boy, that the next you say Bolt. They started calling Bolt and things. So you pick up that just the nickname. So now again, now this is with the name we get when we go and pick up these other customs and them. So this is thing now. So now we're being called Gentiles, and when again now when these other nations is the Gentiles and them, so we pick up the customs and them too. So the same thing. That's like when they go back again. We these nations heathens, so now sometimes we self could be called heathen because why? Most and foremost, the nation of Israel been given the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and these are the things we should be keeping at the Most High. So it's straightforward that hey, look Christ here now tell you that. So I love to say Christ come for everybody. Christ ain't come for everybody. Say making it straight. Hey, do not go anywhere the Gentile. So now again, all these things are again with the Christian church like to push and say, well, hey, look them Gentiles and them, but look Christ here. Look Christ here tell you don't go anywhere the Gentiles, but I go on to Paul and say, well, hey, look Paul saying well them Gentiles and go be drafted in and thing. When you see when you're doing all the comparison that the olive tree and you see all these branch and if the leaf fall and it fall, how you go draft how you go draft next tree. So if you had to go and draft an orange tree, you can go and take a potting you can go and take a pomerac tree and draft it onto orange tree. It will never happen because that won't belong there. Just like in Sesame Street, which one of these things doesn't belong here? Which one of these things is not the same? These other nations is not the same. And thing we do not belong to these other nations. We're not supposed to be segregated to these other nations. So the drafting in, you can only take up our grapefruit tree, draft it, or that same citrus and think about you can go and take pomerac and pomsity and draft it onto orange tree and thing. That madness and thing. So that not talking about these other nations and them, right? So the same thing now that Gentiles there again was talking about the nation of Israel. And now I see now Christ now come and thing. But you know they're not going on, when the Christians they're not going to pull this and say, hey, don't go anywhere the Gentiles and thing. I only come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel and not going to pull that no time. I never himself hear that until I come to the I.S.U.P.K and thing, right? So this is now you're going to start to see now, these is scriptures and them now. We will be out on the street now, letting me brothers and them know and things. There, wait, that really need scriptures there? Yeah, brother, that in the scriptures, brother. And then we speak the truth, right? Give me Matthew 15 and 24.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So again, look another one coming again. So this is Christ and thing, written in red and thing again. I'm not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Who sent Christ? The Most High. And God is a loving person, and God love everybody and thing. But the Most High sent his beloved Son out of all the sons on the face of the earth. He sent Christ and thing. He loved me too, but I just the most beloved Son out of all the sons on the face of the earth. He tell him, what? Go to the house, the lordship at the house of Israel. He never say go to the Indians. He never say the Chinese. He never say the Japanese, the Arman, the Arabs and them and thing, the white man, the Africans and them. Only the lordship at the house of Israel and thing. And this is the scripture should be pulling out for we brothers and sisters and them. But again, they'll never pull these scriptures to get you wise in the street. And if somebody do ask about these Christians, what they going to tell you? Brother man, you're disturbing my church. I would like you no longer to come inside here and all kind of thing, right? That is not a the Most High and thing, right? This is the place they should be learning the Most High laws.
Right.
And thing, but I turn into a bank. All they story about is money, 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 money. That whole white man God. That the whole white man God is about money and thing, right? I go to Acts 5 and 30 and 31.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 30. The God of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom he slew and hanged on a tree. Verse 31. Him had the Most High exalted with his right hand to be the Prince and a Savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
Right. So this is the Most High again now. This is Christ again. So again now, so all you people like to say like, I want to walk around. All the brothers and them like to walk around a big gold chain and say, right, yeah, Christ really died on the tree and thing. But hear this now. I think so. Yeah, Christ is a loving. He's so loving and thing. Yeah, all big chain, all I pull up all this fake white man in your house, this devil, this homosexual, pedophile, murder, anything you think about bad, this man do it and thing. No, so yeah, that's right. So or you're praising somebody, right? Who say he only come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So when you go in the scripture, you say only Israel, right? So this white man now go against the old people. He leave out every white man on the face of the youth, and he just only come to die for only black people on the face of it. That making any sense, you know? Because Christ is not a white man. Christ is a black man according to the Bible, right? And all these other prophets and them was black men, black Hispanics and Native Indian man. So that black man come to die for you, black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. He did not come to die for no whites, no Chinese, no Japanese, no African, no Arabs and them. So again now, when they hear this now, and then some of them might take off the gold chain now, the pendant and thing now, because I represent this, you know, I love the Most High. So now I come and hear this thing, or I might, hey, boy, they might know what to do with the chain and thing no more again. They might just take it off and go and melt it. Yeah, that's the best thing what you should be doing right now, because that do not belong to Israel. When you go back and do the history to all these Romans and them, they was always using this to prosecute and kill people and things. So that's like that's like your needles one way to kill you, your gun one way to kill you. This the cross was a way to kill you slowly and thing. They nail you and your body will go in a trauma and you'll be dying slowly until you pass away and thing. And again, and black people again, just like King Solomon, just like the gay white Jesus and thing, they looking in, just a lot of things we just keep on with them, just like the Thanksgiving, just like New Year's and all these things that they're celebrating, and because of all these different things blinding you, you're not looking into all these things on them, and you're having a cross on your with them. When really and true, if you really think and you see that cross and thing, you should really be following the things that what Christ with him, and Christ come and die for his sins, and our sins is and thing, the transgression and the law. So we should be keeping, if we love Christ, the laws and thing, not nears and thing. And don't feel I say in your mind the same thing with Christianity. My heart good and all kind of thing, but so long your heart good and thing, your heart smoking, your heart making you eat pork, crab, shrimp, lobster and thing. No, most I not doing all in thing when I go to the whole scriptures and thing. Christ don't let you think not to come to destroy the law. Christ didn't come to deal with no heart and thing. Christ let you know one time, hey, you love me, you have to follow this why you doing here. Follow laws and statutes and judgments of the Most High. You love the Most High, that's one of the fastest scriptures, John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep the commandments and things. Straightforward and things. It have many more and to go and things. The whole duty of man is to keep the commandments and things. Straightforward and things. So when we go through all these things and them and thing too, this whole Bible belongs to black Hispanics and Native Indian man. What been taught and thing is lies to the Christian church and thing, and to keep down black people, not to let black people know who they is, put this African thing and then after again a lot of that thing they like to come and use these things yeah, well, black people so when black people see things going wrong and thing with them, I see that black brother going wrong. So the same things the same thing what David was trying to do, bring back the kingdom. Christ tried to bring back the kingdom. It are always black people now again. We bringing back the kingdom. It are black people now coming and telling, well, yeah, black people was selling black people into slavery when it was never, when again was never black people again. Was we enemies, them Africans and enemies, the enemies. These the people them gather we up and sell we into slavery and things. They look like we, just like the Japanese and the Chinese look alike, they are two different races on them. And when you go back and you check back these Africans and thing too, you will never find African in the Bible because this is a European name. Just like when we go back in history and things, I've seen all these people getting independence from India, getting independence from the Europeans and them Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and all these the people in concurrence. So again, now when you go back and think, these people, the people for that landmass and them in the Bible are the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the Libyans, and the Ethiopians, and them. These are the people what make up white name, which come from Ham, right? And then after now again, when you go back in Noah had the 3 sons. We come from Shem. So I think about all God always have his chosen people and thing. So again now, these are the people who sell us into slavery. Africans, we is not Africans, and Africans was not selling Africans into slavery. But all these Egyptians, the Canaanites, Ethiopians, and them was doing these things and them, right? So come to the I.S.U.P.K and then come and learn the truth, come and learn the Most High laws, how to walk back, how to be righteous men, right. Walk shameless and thing, nobody had nothing to say. Sisters and thing, come and know to deal with your husband, your sisters and them thing, right? Come and know to keep the Most High feast days and things what the Most High would deal to keep on thing, right? They come up from this Gentile spirit, like we come up from killing me brothers and thing, right? They come up from all these things and them and thing, right? Because more important, we have to come back and keep the Most High laws. And just as the Most High said, and the thing was it Christ saying the most two powerful verses and the thing like this, love thy brother thyself and thing. Don't go and sleep with your brother wife and thing. Do not kill your brother and thing. If your brother do you something wrong, don't go and take it with the Christian church say, well, hey, go and do him back that and thing. When they never think, when the Most High say, well, hey, have mercy on him and thing. Or if you want your brother to if you want your brother to die for that, well, just remember, if you want your brother to die for that and think that you do something wrong, when you do something wrong, expect to die and think too. So when the Most High, what Christ was like, have mercy on your brother and think when he do something, don't want to kill your brother and think and when he do something wrong and think, forgive him and thing, right? And things. So come and learn all these laws, statutes, and judgments of the Most High. Again, thank you to the I.S.U.P.K now that we could go out on the streets and thing and continue to teach to we brothers and thing, teach all these Hispanics, Native Indians, and you Negroes that we are one nation and thing, right? Right. And thing and come back to the Most High. And the Most High is waiting for us to come back. So even when we go back and all to, let me go to Revelation 7:1, and that will be the last one, and that's to show that hey, the Most High is not playing, and is every one of these tribes and them could be taking part in bringing back this earth together.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Well,
continue.
Yeah, but all right. So this is now again. Now, so the angels now come and to set destruction, but now our order been passed to them. Hey, well, do not do nothing here, right? Until this happen, right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Verse 4. And
all right. So hold on here. So now, see the servants are the in the foreheads, and now we're coming back to the laws, statutes, and judgments and things. So now all these men been taught to have the truth, and they know how to deal with the people, they know how to love the people, they know how to keep the Most High commandments and things. They're not taking part of things in the world and things, right? So this is all these things these men and them, all these things these men and them doing. Go ahead.
Our God. Verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Verse 5. And of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000. Verse 8. Of the tribe of Zebulun was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000.
So this is just this you know for yourself that just to show that this is not about one tribe and or 7 tribe or 5 tribe. This is about all the tribes and them, right? Coming back to the Most High, right? Tell the Most High want to do to destroy the earth, right? And destroy all these other nations and them. So again, you black Hispanics and Native Indian man, see what the Most High is saying again now. So this is again now we have to come back to the Most High and thing and keep his laws, statutes, and judgments and thing. Because again, this is now about one man and thing. It's about a nation and thing, right? So again, black Hispanics and Native Indian man, tune into the I.S.U.P.K, watch the classes through the week and thing, find out which part the I.S.U.P.K is and thing, find out which part we do sweet teaching and thing. Right now, COVID right now, so more or less everything is just on YouTube and thing, but look into the I.S.U.P.K and thing, right? Check out all the different classes. There are classes in UK and thing, there are classes in Jamaica. And you're seeing it again how we spreading all through the world. Yeah, we have or every state in we have every state in America and thing, and then after every and it has smaller states and all the into the smaller states and all too. Same thing and all too again. So again, we out there to wake up with people and make people come out from this wicked world. So that's as Christ said, be in the world and be of the world and thing. Don't follow the things we're in this world here. Don't follow no Christmas, don't follow no homosexuality, don't follow no eating no unclean animals and them things. Come back to the Most High, right? And with that, we go pass the class over to Priest and Officer Maikwa.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant Gen.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 to 10. It means 10 in the Hebrew and it's pronounced ma'ishra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Purim, which will be on the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which will be Thursday, February 25th, and Friday, February 26th, 2021. You can find this in Esther chapter 9, verses 20 to 31. Remind Akim and Akwatium to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirt, like headbands or scarf, and with that, we say imagine. We're going to turn and face the east. And we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kwadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Kabaa, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Mashemayim, the sun now, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawawat. Kasalaknawa, Kawawatinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Walasayawan, Abal, Awashainawa, Mayon, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Wa'aiwalamia, Aman.
What we just said, our Father, which art in heaven,
hallowed
be thy name.
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy
will be done. Earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive our debts.
And forgive our debts.
Forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
Deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
That is the kingdom.
For that is the kingdom. And the power.
And the glory. Forever. So be it.
We're going to say the Hakka, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Balashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, the sun and hour, Hakka, Larapa, Kalmakala, Kalmadawo, Hakka, Lataha, Hatamazaria, Hakka, Lahakwayam, Hamatayam, Hakka, Ayrakawat, Hatamayala, Lagarashon, Bashem, Yahushai, Tawada Aman.
What we just said, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
So be it.
We're going to say the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushai. Why Makala. Why Alahayam. Matazabia. Alawapihana. Ha Alawapiam. Ha Saraniam. Ha Kwatazayanyam. Ha Kayalianyam. Why Akwatiam. Yahweh. Bashem. Yahushai. Tawada Aman.
What we just said, bless you Yahweh, and Yahushai,
and Michael,
and the angels,
Command
GEN.YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
So be it. This is I.S.U.P.K. curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living, Yahweh, the name of Yahushai. Listen to us now, right now. Set evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathens, that speak against us, thy prophets, teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes, the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
and
the school,
sent
evils and curses,
and
punishment and destruction,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school, force their riches, to enter thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the Edomites, the nations, and the drug dealers, court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the government of our enemies, Amalek Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Area Nation, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channels, and the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction all the heathen that stand in our way, or try to stop us, broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let's use all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief, and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucer, and punish all the heathen that come up against us. As we speak thy word, cause it to be known by all, that it is the angels that have done it, cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, always, so be it. We're going to say the blessed Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Barak Noah, Wayashala, Wahabayat, Separia, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Commander GEN.YAHANNA, Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all those fighting the complete truth, and all those in the truth, the John family, the Koto family, Philip family, Alexis family. Brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. Brothers and sisters fighting the truth. Children and babies in I.S.U.P.K. Children and babies in the I.S.U.P.K. Transfer family, Wrong family, Zion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Amelia, Ashida, Trisha, Myelin, Daniela, Nima, Khadijah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Tawada Aman. What we just said. Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and Israel, and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Sir, men of Israel, let's give the teacher a one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai B'Katam, Yad Matah. Men of Israel, let's give the sisters online a one courtesy Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shemalatan Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yad Matah. Class dismissed.